What up YouTube, and welcome to another episode on what is the adventure of building this DC2 Integra. And this is for sure been a nightmare so far, but today I've already gotten one trailing arm off, and it's taken me the whole day because everything was rusted, and along with figuring out how to get the parking brake off, because almost every single screw underneath this car, because it is a Canadian car that goes through salted winters, every single screw basically was 1 millimeter smaller than it should be, sometimes even less. So I had to cut a small little window just to get the parking brake cable out. And currently, sorry about that. So since I have two new front spindles I picked up from my boy Stefan, and this rear trailing arm off, I gotta get this side off as well, and I'm gonna clean up a bunch of stuff, including this exhaust, because this looks gross as hell. And yeah, afterwards I should be getting the body underside prepped for undercoating as well, so that it looks just like how the back here looks. All right, sorry I don't really record footage and all that, but it's kind of hard because I also record on my iPhone. One day I'll get a camera, and hopefully that will make the recording process a lot more easier. Okay, so quick update on the Integra. I've just finished fabricating the rear crash bar. So basically the other rear crash bar, some pieces were stuck in there, and basically I couldn't get the other pieces out, so I got basically 3-inch diameter pipe, cut them, slot them over the pieces that were basically still in there, welded them to the pieces that were in there still. Then so the 3-inch diameter also slides into the car's body, so if the car were to get into an accident, it still functions as a bash bar. I basically did like the drifter bash bar setup with this what's this called, 1/4-inch thick pipe. 1/4-inch, I think it's like 2-inch diameter, 1/4-inch thick pipe. So basically it's solid. I'm just about to paint it, and then I'm about to try and fit the rear bumper on, which means I gotta take the garnish panel back off. So I'll throw it down the time lapse, and you'll see me put the rear of this car together for the first time since in a long time actually. And on today's adventure, I am currently burning out the bushings for the rear trailing arms. Currently got the what do you call these things? The rear hubs off. So the rear wheel bearing and hub assembly. Finally got the race off of those. That probably taken me about months to get there. And I have energy suspension poly bushings that I'm about to put into this. And I'll put this on a time lapse so you guys can see how this goes. My brother, I'm just about this on fire. Okay, so I'm back, and the trailing arm is actually a lot cleaner than the last time I recorded. I've burned the bushings out completely, cleaned up the holes, and gotten the energy suspension bushings ready. Tried to force them in by hand, but turns out I definitely need to build a bit of a tool using washers and a screw and another nut that I've seen on YouTube. So I'll show you once that's done. The wheel bearing is now on. The wheel bearing assembly is now on and looks really clean. I am going to have to get another nut for the other side because it's completely mangled, as well as a few other bolts and nuts for a few other things. But other than that, we are moving along pretty nicely. Also, I got the new control arm in the mail. It's actually over here. So the new Moog control arm just came in, and it's just an OE control arm. Not gonna go with an adjustable one just yet. And okay, so currently he joined me on today's adventure where I'm trying to press in the energy suspension rear trailing arm bushings. And currently, this is what I have set up. I have a very long bolt, a few washers, and a spacer with another set of bolts. The spacer is just to kind of level it out so that once I pull it, it has like an even pull on both sides. And I'm about to throw this thing on time lapse, and the other one went in, so hopefully this one will go in easily. So before I mount this up, just want to show I have the energy suspension trailing arm bushing, the Civic EP3 SIR rear rotor, and there will be the RSX rear calipers will be attached to them, and Tokico coilovers, aluminum R's, they've just been kind of refreshed and resealed. Skunk 2 lower control arm, and a brand new OEM control arm. So this thing should feel solid in the rear, and also we have a sway bar that will be good going back on, as well as the sway bar, as well as the rear subframe brace. So it should be really solid in the rear. So I'm gonna throw this back down and throw the parts up. Currently what we're working with, brand new energy suspension bushings all around, including that bushing right there, new toe arm that goes under there. Everything's kind of been sealed up with some asphalt coating. New upper control arm, suspension's been refreshed. New Skunk 2 lower control arm. New bearings, new brake rotors, RSX rear calipers. Let's see. All the way around. This rotor is kind of messed because I sprayed some rim cleaner on it, so it kind of looks it looks like that. New brake lines all the way through. This one's a bit long because let's keep